education rate is up. We went from a group of men who were brought to this country in the hulls of slave ships. I know we got the pretendians out there that's saying that we still here, but the DNA test says otherwise, just like your baby mama. So for my brothers who know their history and know where we came from, and know what we've been through for hundreds of years, the fact that over 60% of black men have now reached the middle class as a... Your seed is the most important thing that you produce in this world. It's not the art that you produce. It's not the buildings that you create. It's not the amount of money you make. It's not the amount of people who like you. It is your legacy.
But since we don't live in our culture no more, we say what we want to say, do what we want to say. We tear our men down and then wonder why they don't make good husbands and fathers. Mothers destroy sons. His mother can speak to him in certain ways that destroy him in ways that can never be repaired.
Salute the black men.
Started with mama issues, afraid to question anything, that was that bitch in you. Grown-ass men, we letting this shit continue. Adolescent feminine ways, why men offend you. Mama boy, she love thugs, her secret lover. That's why she keep these niggas inside the covers. Put the nigga aside, homie, I'm your brother. Close father saving us, having the same mother. Iron sharpens iron, we learning from one another. No jealousy or envy, going through life struggles. You told your mama you was outside, wanted to hang. Now you wearing colors and just joined the gang. No money, so the OGs taught you how to slang. Jackers rolled up and all you heard was bang. On the side of the curb, leaking out your brains. Quiet women sing, single mamas on skin. Black men, we gotta change. Salute the black men. We number one if you talking about top 10. I salute the black men. Child support kids don't belong to him. I salute the black men. She lied on you and sent you to the pen. I salute the black men. Dealing with the pressure and oppressor getting lesser, cause we deserve the best of. Coming home from work and life issues, I just want a meal, end up with fights with you. You just need to chill, remember I'm right with you. So fucking masculine, swinging and I ain't hit you. What's your fucking issue? You don't love me, you love what I can get you. Don't let the kids you love be in the bitch you. 911 police saying I hit you. I got video footage, you lying bitch you. Why you think we locked up options with you? Making love to the enemy out to get you. That big ass and a smile might convince you. Graveyards that's filled, we on the menu. Penitentiaries packed, men continue to be the simps, and she provided the venue. No respect, so black men we've been through. Nigga,
Black fathers are more likely to help their children with their homework, prepare meals, bathe and dress their children compared to fathers of other races. So the absent or deadbeat black father myth that many in America believe is really more like a lie.
The black men, we number one if you talking about top 10. I salute the black men. Child support kids don't belong to him. I salute the black men. She lied on you and sent you to the pen. I salute the black men. Dealing with the pressure and oppressor getting lesser, cause we deserve the best. Salute the black men. We number one if you talking about top 10. I salute the black men. Child support kids don't belong to him. I salute the black men. She lied on you and sent you to the pen. I salute the black men. Dealing with the pressure and oppressor getting lesser, cause we deserve the best of.
Salute the black men.
I salute.
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 Salute the black men.
Men,
I salute.
the men I want to salute.
Fuck your back.
I like that.
Struggle
Salute, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Simple Shit TV. I'm your host, Alvin Holden, also known as Project 8020. Here with my brother, Broken Blade. What's up, sir? How are you doing?
What's up, man? I'm good.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
I lost track of time.
Did you?
A little bit.
Hey, man.
Looked
I
over
mean,
like working 7. Oh shit.
yeah, no, time will absolutely fly. This afternoon did kind of come by. I kind of breezed by also. I actually, well, real quick before I get into it, I think there's not too many of us in here just yet. That's okay. We're just gonna get it popping. But have you ever was that? Oh, okay, no problem. So I came across the clip today. And I had to share it because it's just one of those. This is one of those situations where people always ask me, because I am a little bit older, they ask me why I'm not getting married or why I'm not in a relationship. And every once in a while, I get an opportunity to show an example as to why maybe I don't, maybe I have a reason. So shout out to, what is the name of this channel? I forget. This is Jason. Let's see. Hold on. Let me make sure I get it right. This is JB Reacts. JB Reacts. And I've seen a couple of these conversations on his channel. Shout out to him. But there was just this one clip right here, this one young lady that had some stuff to say. And before we get super deep into it, as far as the show is concerned, I just thought I would share this one little part real quick. Let's let it rock.
I can almost guarantee it had to do with something where this man was doing something that you left him, right? The last relationship.
My ex-husband?
Her ex-husband. Bet. Okay. Now, first of all, look. Never mind. I'm going to let it rock.
Yeah.
I left him because I was cheating on him.
Oh my God.
Because I was selfish and I just wanted sex all the time. I left him because I was cheating on him and he did not deserve that version of me. So instead of me being a bullshit ass woman and just cheating on him and he's being a great father, he's being a provider and all those things, I left.
The defense rests. The defense rests, man.
Yeah. I don't even want to respond to it.
The defense
Michael
rests.
B. Jordan wasn't enough, right? Michael B. Jordan wasn't enough.
I will say
it wasn't even that he wasn't enough. It was where I was and my mental, and
Right.
I had 3 kids in 3 years. I lost a bit.
3 kids in 3 years. And she left her husband. She cheated on him. And she just left his ass. Let's run it back. This is crazy.
Guarantee it had to do with something where this man was doing something that you left him, right? The last relationship.
My ex-husband?
Yeah.
I left him because I was cheating on him.
Some would say at least she's honest.
Oh my God.
Because I was selfish and I just wanted sex all the time. I left him because I was cheating on him and he did not deserve that version of me. So instead of me being a bullshit ass woman and just cheating on him and he's being a great father, he's being a provider and all those things, I left.
The defense rests. The defense rests, man.
yeah. I don't even want to respond to it.
The defense
Michael
rests.
B. Jordan wasn't enough, right? Michael B. Jordan wasn't enough.
I will say
it wasn't even that he wasn't enough. It was where I was and my mental, and
Right.
I had 3 kids in 3 years. I lost our first daughter. We got married.
Lost the first daughter.
It was a lot. We were together since we were 16. When we grew
Nobody
up, we
cheated on
grew
you,
apart.
right?
We matured differently.
Do y'all accept that excuse? That they just matured differently? Is that an acceptable excuse to get a divorce? Anybody? I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like that's not quite enough. But I don't know. That's like that's nightmare fuel for single men, by the way. Just thought I'd let anybody that might be catching this on a replay. Nightmare fuel. Okay. I have nightmares that I will marry a woman, have 3 children with her, and then all of a sudden she just starts cheating because she just wants to, get some shit off.
The last relationship.
This.
My husband?
This here.
I left him because I was cheating on him.
Oh my God.
Because I was selfish. And I just was. I
can almost guarantee it had to do with something where this man was doing something that you left him, right? The last relationship.
My husband?
Yeah.
I left him because I was cheating on him.
Oh my God.
Because I was selfish. And I just wanted sex all the time. I left him because I was cheating on him and he did not deserve that version of me. So instead of.
He did not deserve that version of me.
You got the same side of their mouth. If he can't fill up with me at my worst, he doesn't deserve me at my best.
It's trickery. It's verbal. It's trickery. It's gaslighting and goalpost moving, misdirection. Whatever word we have, what other words for magic can we use? Abracadabra, fucking razzmatazz. I don't know. Whatever, anything else that rhymes with bullshit, I don't know. But this is the crazy part right here, though.
Me being a bullshit ass woman and just cheating on him, and he's being a great father, he's being a provider, and all those things.
The defense rests. The defense rests, man.
Yeah. I don't even want to respond to it.
The defense Michael B. Jordan wasn't enough, right? Michael B. Jordan wasn't enough.
I will say
it wasn't even that he wasn't enough. It
wasn't even that he wasn't enough. Listen to this part.
It's where I was and my mental.
My.
And bro, I had a baby.
I.
3 kids in 3 years. I lost my
3 kids in 3 years. She said she lost the first one.
First daughter, we got married. Like it was a lot. We were together since we were 16. When we grew up, we grew apart. Right. We matured differently.
I will say,
and men do.
Like even if you marry them and put 3 babies in them, bro, they can still they still don't feel loyal to you. They're giving you 3 children and you can't just sit still.
All the kids.
All them kids. God damn. So, Broken Blade. I just thought I'd warn myself with that. Broken Blade. Foundational Black American.
Yes, sir.
It's offending some people, bro. Some people were like really kind of, it's triggering some people.
If you hear nobody being offended or triggered by Irish people being proud of their heritage, or Native Americans.
Yeah, just us.
Polish, British, Japanese, Korean.
Just us. Bro, okay, before we get, this is only a couple of us in here. Okay, so look, check this out. I'm going to do a quick story time because I had something happen to me today and like, well, not bad. When you think you may have like, okay, maybe I met an angel. It could have been an alien. It could have been my imagination. Did ever just something really strange happen to you? Really, this is really strange. It's all good, all positive. It's all positive. But just like, I'm trying to like.
I had a lot of strange, most of it not positive.
Okay. So, all right. So the part of the reason why I even want to talk about this, I almost did a live and we just like, and like told the story earlier this afternoon. That's how I wanted to get it on wax, but I saved it because I wanted to talk to you about it. I might as well talk to you about it live. Okay. So, that country that shall not be named just keeps popping up all over the place, all over the news, right? And I'm constantly staring at this flag that is not American, constantly. And I do not like that. I feel like I have to like tiptoe and tap dance right now about this. You know this, right? I'm struggling with this right now. So a bunch of this stuff happens overseas and on the East Coast, and some stuff happens that falls in that bucket. This whole thing with South Africa, I'm trying to put it all together. I was super frustrated, getting really annoyed, right? The hypocrisy of all of it is just it's just, I was just trying to get so I just got done with training a couple of my clients earlier this morning. And then I made my way on into my midday break. And I say, you know what, Alvin, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Just roll you up a nice little J, take the basketball, go to the park. Because I pretty much go to the park every day anyways, but I'm like running sprints or playing tennis or playing basketball. I usually alternate between those. So I have a spot that I like to hang out at. I got, you know what I'm saying? Like round about the same time, you know, you'll catch me running around out there on the park, you know, running sprints or whatever. So I get to the park, I sit down, I say, you know what? I just got my basketball with me. I'm not going to go hardcore because I got a whole bunch of stuff to do, but I'm going to shoot around for like 35, 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Just get some fresh air, whatever, right? So I'm sitting there, got my thing sparked. You know, just people watching, you know, I got my I have my glasses on. I'm just chilling. I'm just in the park, you know, people walking by, people walking their dogs, whatever, right? Single mom comes by with her dog. She moves on kind of about 50, 60 yards away from me, like over by, like kind of not too far away from me. And she gets ready to like perch where she's going to sit down with her kid and her dog, and looks like they're just going to hang out there at the park in the grass, right?
Yeah.
And while she's getting herself all set up, her dog wanders off, and not necessarily halfway between, but like closer, halfway between me and her, I guess the dog comes over and like takes a shit.
Yeah.
Right? Now I got my glasses on. I didn't lift my head or anything, so I'm pretty sure I look the same. You know, I'm just looking in one direction. But I do see the dog take a shit. And I run in this field all the time with my cleats on and whatever. I absolutely hate stepping in dog food. You want to put me in a bad mood, let me step in some dog food. Okay. So, and in this park, there's two, I've told you this before, there's two actual like doggy areas on each side of this park. And there's signs on the softball fields that say, don't let your dogs on the park, and people will just run right past it, and dogs everywhere. There's dog shit everywhere. So the dog takes a poo. The lady sees it. I'm sitting here like, this bitch going to pretend like she didn't see that dog taking shit. Because she was getting her stuff. She still was sitting there. She had just set her baby down, and she was putting her stuff together, right? So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, is this bitch going to pretend like she doesn't see that this dog took shit? And I'm like, I don't see it. So, I don't know. I might Karen this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I might do a Karen thing. Be like, no, you forgot something. You know, I'm you know, I mean, I was in that mode.
Yeah.
Right? That's already where my head was. I was already kind of agitated anyway, right? Sparking my thing. The lady sees. You could tell she's like trying to figure it out. 1,000, 1,000. Boom. She picks up the baby. No, she grabs a bag, picks up the baby, walks over, grabs the poo in the bag like they do, and then she walked back over to what she was doing. And I was like, you know what? I don't even care if she was stressed out that I saw her. It's just the fact that she did it. And she like picked up her baby and just like I couldn't have blamed her if she let it go. You know what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't have done anything, and she probably could have left it there and nobody would have known the wiser.
Okay. Now I see what you said. Yeah, all right. Strange but positive story. I do have one I've seen.
Okay, well, I'm not done. That's not even the crazy part. Okay. So because I kind of wanted to tell you the last part first for this part to make sense.
Right.
Or for it to like, anyways. So I'm sitting there, she picks up the poo, and I'm like, you know what? Thank you. right? Like, so I get done with my thing, and I'm getting ready to go play the ball, and I just walk over to her, and I kind of loop around so she can see me. I didn't want to walk up on her scary, so I'm like, hey, hey, how you doing? She looks over. I was like, I just said, look, I'm running in this field all the time. I'm always running around on my cleats here. I'm here running around here almost every day. I really appreciate that you picked up your dog's mess. Thank you. And I turned around and walked away. I just said thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just said thank you. No, I don't know. I just felt like I needed to, acknowledge good things. Acknowledge the positive, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. Mind you, like I said, I just finished a stick, so I'm like lit right now. So I'm over there, and I'm like, okay, I start, playing some ball. I'm just shooting around, bro. Just shooting around, just trying to get, hit the reset button on my brain. And out of the corner of my eye, to see this little Asian lady kind of walking around, right? And she's kind of bopping down the walkway, like on the outside of the fence. She's bopping down the walkway. I kind of see her over my shoulder, and I take a shot, and I thought I might have seen her wave, but I wasn't sure, and mind you, like I said, I actually had my glasses on still. I had a hat on. So I, take another shot, rebound. I look over my shoulder again. She's closer. Now she's right on the other side of the fence, and she's like waving at me. Probably 5'1", 5 foot, gray hair, little Chinese lady.
Yeah.
Like backpack, got a bag, and like, bro, if you were to just snapshot something out of China, like little Chinese lady, bag lady, that's what it was. That's what she was, right? So she's waving on the other side of the fence. So I have my headphones on. So I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, can I try? And I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Mind you, Broken Blade, there's nothing but white people around. There's one white dude playing tennis. There's like a bunch of white people playing golf. There's like people, the only other minorities are pushing somebody else's baby in a baby cart, if that makes any sense. Okay. Yeah. Like that's where I'm at. So she comes around the fence and like puts her little bag down and takes her jacket off, and I, bounced over a little bounce pass, and she one hand dribble and runs and shoots. And I'm like, okay, so I get the rebound. I bounce pass it to her again. She bounces, runs. She throws another one. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I pass her the ball. This goes on, Broken Blade, for about 5 minutes. I'm feeding her the rock, and she's taking shots. And, over the course of the time, I'm like, I think you play more than you say. I think you're trying to hustle me. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to keep it light. You're trying to hustle me. She is having a ball, Broken Blade. I mean, just bouncing. And then I stopped her 1 second. I was like, all right, I want you to switch hands. You know what I'm saying? So I slowed down with her, want you to switch hands, do this, and then take the shot. So I'm trying, I'm thinking it's fun, right? 10 minutes goes by. Back and forth. I'm like, this little old lady is out here playing basketball with a stranger. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, I know I smoked the joint, but I can't be. So in my head, I'm like, this is like
something that slips of six. with a drop of ayahuasca in this piece.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So I'm like, so she is, bro, 10 minutes, Broken Blade. She's huffing and puffing and taking shots and whatever, right? So right as I think she's about to quit, she goes to the top of the key and she goes, let's play. And I'm like, what? So she starts to back me down. She Broken Blade. She starts to try to back me down. And I was like, wait, what's her name? I think Melinda. Her name was Melinda. So I'm like, Melinda, you're really going to make me play. So she backs me down and does a little drop step and tries to do a layup. Now she missed, but I was like, yo, this is crazy. So I get the rebound. I take the ball back, and she's really trying to guard me, bro. Like full-blown face guard me, gets down low. 65-year-old grandma. Gray hair, Broken Blade, 5 foot something, little Asian lady. Defense. And I'm like to the point she was pressing me, bro. I started at the top of the key. I'm walking laterally, and she's like, I'm like moving back, like she was really playing defense. Wow. So I'm like, what is going on? So I take a quick step, and I like go around her or whatever, and I go up and hit a layup. I'm laughing because I'm like, yo, this, and I'm like, Melinda, you're out here really making me work hard, right? So I check the ball. She checks the ball back up again, right in my face again. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like this little 65-year-old Chinese lady comes up out of nowhere and all of a sudden she's playing me one-on-one. I can't be this high. This has got to be real. This has got to be real. So I'm playing. I hit her with the third one. So it was like 2-0. And we're kind of laughing back and forth. And then she gets up on me again. And I go to the other side and it was 3-0. And then we, starts laughing and she sits down and we talk for a little while. And she's like, oh, well, thank you so much. Blah, blah, blah. We have a little conversation and she gets up and she walks off and she leaves. And I'm like, did that just happen? I'm like, did that really just happen for real? Like, and it was one of those things where like, I could have very easily like waved her off. Yeah. I could have very easily been like, no, I'm not going to play, I could have very easily been cold. I could have very easily like not engaged. I would have been well within my rights not to do so. I could have pretended like I didn't see her waving at me, bro. I could have not even looked. I could have told her no. I could have taken my ball and gone home. It could have gone a number of different ways.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, come on over. Let's play. Sure. Why not? And then I start thinking back after she left and I'm like, I wonder if because like, what would make a person stop and play basketball with a total stranger? Like, is that not weird? Like a 65-year-old Chinese lady just out of nowhere stopping and playing one-on-one with you at the park. Is that not weird? That seems weird to me.
Yeah.
Even for me.
That means she had a past playing it.
Or I mean, I don't know. People, it's just like people aren't friendly like that anymore. Or they're not open, or they're not. You see what I'm saying? Like, what would make, like, it's interesting that she felt. It's not.
Yeah,
it's really not. But it was just I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking that what I was kind of getting at is that my mood was messed up. My energy was kind of bad. And, I put some positive energy out and I got some positive energy back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I may or may not have brightened a couple of people's days along the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that was the purpose of this entire exercise. Because it left me feeling like I was a character in a movie or something. Like I'm like, I don't want to miss the plot because something like I'm missing something. You know what I mean? Like the golden child or something. Like, should I, is that the white rabbit? Should I follow that thing or like follow her around or something? Like, should I ask for a tip? Should she give me a key or something? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this where my treasure hunt starts? I don't know. I just, because it was so strange. All I could think was like, okay, well, this is like, is this where the video game starts? Like, what, or am I going to like fall into a black hole and pop up in a different alternative universe or something? You see what I'm saying? Like, I thought it was strange. Anyways, sorry for my little 10-minute little rant or whatever. I put some positive energy out there and I got some positive energy back. And
it sounded like it might have been what you needed at that moment.
Maybe.
Put you in a better mood.
Maybe. Or confused. I don't know. I don't know.
I wouldn't call mine supernatural. I have something similar to that. Not exact same frame, but like interacting with somebody like never seen them before again and put in a better mood, better state of mind.
Yeah.
I've talked about on the stream before about losing multiple jobs due to like stupid stuff.
Yeah.
It's like because I'm an introvert, is it a race issue? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
I did a one day gig at a job. It was like cleaning a construction site or whatever. One of the people that was there on the crew was this white guy. Nice dude, very sociable, talkative dude. Literally like the opposite of me. Married, had 2 kids. But for some reason he took a liking to me like pretty quickly. Kind of rare. During lunch, he started talking. He started talking about jobs he went through, and he went through a lot of the exact same places I went through. Having the moments like, "Oh yeah, I worked at such and such." Oh yeah, with the deaf motherfucker. Yeah, bro. Yeah, fuck him. Yeah, he got him under the suit. Like, it had to be the. Damn, I'm not the problem.
No.
Just nice to have that receipt that I wasn't the unreasonable.
It's not you. Yeah. And your senses were, you know what? I'm so glad you said that. We're going to come back to that because Tariq Nasheed said something about that. And it's actually in a clip that we're going to watch moving forward, Broken Blade. That's how all this stuff is really connected. That's why I've just been paying attention. I'm like, I kind of see how some of this stuff is, because I think a lot of the spiritual angst that we have, I think we're starting to figure out where it comes from or why we have it. I think I'm starting to realize that I don't know whether the powers that be have dulled these senses, the third eye, proverbial third eye, whatever, right? Or our ability to communicate and do things on this higher level. I don't know whether the powers that be are like dumbing it down, or we've just not been told how to use it, or we've lost our ability to use it. I'm not sure which, but I have this sneaky suspicion that there's like a whole nother level, I was kind of joking around about the superpowers sort of, but I think there's another level there that we can reach as we sit now.
Do thee not know that thee are gods?
Huh?
Don't thee not know that thee are gods?
And the more I try to like tune in, the more shit be making sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's like something I can figure out how to get to on my own, or whether I'm gonna have to go to like, Jesus went to the mystery schools or whatever, bro. Like he went to India and stuff. Like when he disappeared, that time in Jesus's life where he disappeared, he allegedly went to India and was doing the mystery schools. That was where he was supposed to have been. And then he just pops up at 32, 33 years old on a donkey. Isn't that the case? Isn't that what happened? Y'all double check me. Double check my homework. I'm pretty sure Jesus left Jerusalem or left Bethlehem, wherever the hell, left Israel, whatever, as a teenager. And I believe the lore is he went to mystery schools in like India, and there's like record of him being in India and then coming back as an adult. You can look it up. We'll do it another time, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I think he went to mystery school and like learned some things. I think. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. Who what the hell do I know? Anyways, foundational Black American. Now, so Broken Blade, I was on average, guess how old do you think the borders are on some of these African countries?
So maybe 20 years, 20, 30.
We're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that because I start, how I work, bro. I start pulling threads. So foundational Black American, FBA, refers to a group of Black Americans who believe that they are, and I love how they wrote this. And this is an AI interview. This is from Google, so we're not holding on to this super hard. But it's a great way. It's a great place to start.
Yeah.
So, who believe we are directly descended from enslaved people who were brought to the United States and claim a unique connection to the nation's foundational builders. They often emphasize their lineage and distinction from Black immigrants or those of African descent whose ancestors were not enslaved in the U.S. Would you Would you consider that accurate, Broken Blade?
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Lineage and heritage. The FBA movement centers around the belief that Black Americans descended from enslaved individuals and have a distinct and foundational connection to the nation's history. And again, do I believe that there were some Black folks that were here already? Yes. I believe that there were some dark ass Indians here. There were some Black people. So you would, if you were to look at them, and it's so funny because there's a hand, like my grandmother, she has this is where I get my cheekbones from. My mom, like, so some people say that stuff and they say it just because they're embarrassed to be Black. Some of us really do have roots as Aboriginal people in this country. Right. But I think it's enough to say that the enslaved Africans that were brought over and the ones that were here already that somehow got tied up into slavery, that is us. I can't say what percentage is what, but like all of us dark folks that were on here, say from 1776 on up, that is us, foundational Black Americans. Now think about that. 1776, a long time, bro. Long time. Very long time. In fact, I double checked. There is not a single border in Africa that's older than the United States. So every single country in Africa, as it sits, every country in Africa, its borders are much newer than the United States. So let's, again, we're going to stick a pin in that. Historical narrative. The movement often, and it's not a movement, by the way, it's a lineage. It just is what it is. You're French, you're Italian, you're Japanese, you're Chinese, you're Russian. Okay. I'm American. I have to put foundational Black American on the front of it because y'all want to kick dirt on my name. That's why. Exactly. I have to specify because y'all keep cheating me out of the stuff that you owe me. So I had to figure out how to make sure no one else is included.
And you've been trying to muddy the waters by adding these tethers.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to throw monkey riches into the plant.
Which is new. I didn't realize, but it is the truth. It is the truth. You're right. The movement often presents a narrative that views enslaved Black people as those as the true founders of the nation, a perspective that's sometimes seen as divisive and potentially harmful. Only to those that don't want to see us stick together. FBAs individuals often hold hardline views on various social issues and may engage in tactics that disengage Black voters. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting?
Indeed. Let's not talk about gerrymandering, though.
Yeah. Oh, just when we do something, it's a, what they call it? It's divisive. Got it.
Cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Fuck.
Yeah. The FBA ideology. Interesting. I don't know. We might have to start getting, you see how it's already starting, bro? You see how they're starting to already figure out how to try to kick dirt on it? That's interesting, bro. Has been criticized for its narrow view of Black history and its potential to fuel division within the Black community. Some critics argue that it resembles white supremacist ideologies and its emphasis on heritage and its exclusion of certain groups.
What have we spoken of enslaving any group?
Never.
What do you ever other than we're better than any group?
I mean, we would never say that, but based on how they do everything we do and chase us around and always want to know what we got going on, clearly we're doing something better than everybody else. I don't know what it is. It's not, I mean, I'm just judging that based on the behaviors. You know what I'm saying? Potential for division. I can't believe that that's even a thing. The movement's emphasis on lineage and its separation from other Black groups has been criticized for potentially undermining the unity of the Black community and hindering efforts to address systemic racism. Broken Blade. Do you think separating ourselves from these other groups is a negative thing?
Not at all. Actually, it's a reaction from their separation from us.
Ooh, say that again. Please elaborate. Please, if you can.
From day one, when they've come over here, we've wanted to work with them. To this day, it's FBAs that are moving to Africa under terms of good faith. Wanted to build with the countries here, and we're the main ones they try to fuck over.
That's crazy. That's real. That's literally exactly it.
To the point where they're ready to throw rocks at the FBA pastor for even implying that Jesus may have been black.
Well, they love them some white Jesus, don't they? They love them some white Jesus. It's all good. Shout out to white Jesus. Yeah. The movement. So once again, it's not a movement. It's just it's lineage. Again,
bloodline.
American. It's bloodline. I got ancestors. I got people. There's slaves receipts with my last name on it, and families being sold that we've tracked down. So there's that. The group has been criticized for potentially undermining the unity of the Black community and hindering efforts to address systemic racism. I believe we're the only group to really be addressing systemic racism. And now, bro, like, check this out. Now, if I didn't know what I was looking at, if I didn't know, or if I was on the other side of the argument and I were to see this for the first time, I would think that foundational Black Americans were bad. They were harmful. This is not a positive thing here. Right? Like, this is just your basic Google search will say that foundational Black Americans basically are divisive and essentially bad for the community, bad for the country. Like, I think it might be one of those things where, like, if we don't try to update and like handle this stuff really early, I believe this could be a problem. I now that I'm really looking at it, I think this could potentially be. We might have to really get, up on top of it. Are you ops or nah? So this is a Carnegie Mellon University. Let me just see real fast. Let me see this. NGPAF, New Georgia Project Action Fund. Are you the ops or nah? Right-wing disinformation within the reparationist movement. Abstract. Foundational Black Americans have been rising. Can you see that? Let's see. Let's make this bigger for you guys. I apologize.
Just from jump, like the title limited itself on.
Thank you. It's ignorant, right? It's like, why would you make a title in Ebonics? Why would you do that? Like, why was that necessary? Why would you do that? I digress. But that's where I met. Anyways, foundational Black Americans have been a rising trend within online spaces, particularly due to their hardline stances on a myriad of social issues and their tactics that potentially result in disengaging Black Americans from the voting process. Broken Blade, did you ever get instructions not to vote?
No.
You mean no one from the FBA office called you and said, "Hey, Broken Blade, I'm going to need you to stay on the couch and not vote"?
I've been urged to vote my interests.
Vote your yes, me too. Me too.
And a lot of people have felt that the couch was the best option for them.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Because they're making it sound like, like the FBA president called from the FBA office and told us FBAs to not vote, but that's not what happened. So we're just gonna have to put a pin in that. Along with the other Black identity groups such as American Descendants of Slaves, ADOS, Black First, B1, and Freedmen, I like how they separated those. FBA positions their ideology to be solely concerned with the needs of Black Americans, with owed reparations to Black Americans for the horrors of slavery and being at the helm of their goals. I don't know if that's the helm, but it's pretty darn important. I think it's necessary. What about you, Broken Blade? I mean, I don't know if it's at the top of list. What is there something, if there was one thing that you could get from the government, one tangible thing, what would be the first thing on your wish list?
An anti-Black hate bill.
With some teeth, huh? I'm with that. So just two foundational Black Americans sitting here talking about it. If we had a wish list, our number one thing would be an anti-Black hate crime bill between the two of us.
Absolutely.
Before reparations.
Yeah.
Reparations would be a close second, but I would too. I would too. I would absolutely too. They tend to present themselves as nonpartisan and outside the two-party system. However, based on our research, the tactics. I don't like that. Tend to suggest to lean towards a conservative ideology. Much like what was identified in the Mueller report, where Russians infiltrated Black spaces to promote Black voter apathy and weaken their support for the Democratic Party. They're already trying to put the Russians on us, bro. I knew there was a reason why I needed to click this. I knew it.
It's not that Negroes could think for themselves.
Yeah.
They only have 350 in the elected we have. No. Those damn commie whites had to put them up to this.
Broken Blade, let's think about this for a second. The first two things that I like, the stuff at the top of the list of searchables for foundational Black Americans are propaganda, negative propaganda, by the way. Just want to go ahead and put that out there. I didn't really realize. I mean, we clearly are a threat. People are absolutely threatened by us. I mean, my instincts, I'm seeing people getting real, having some crazy kind of anxiety right now. The bigots are bigoting. I mean, the internet is, people really think they got the green light on saying exactly how they feel about Black folks right now. Let's see. Similarly, FBA seems intent on breaking off Black American support of left-wing politics by making unbalanced arguments on their flaws and omitting the flaws of the right-wing politics. Whataboutism. Interesting. Our overall research focus aims to test the influence of these Black identity groups have on Black voter behavior overall and compare them to the precedent of foreign adversaries and right-wing political players using similar tactics, focusing largely on prevailing leaders of FBA on their platforms on Twitter and YouTube and their reach through popular Black celebrities and influencers. We plan to also highlight their salient prominence in political discourse to better illustrate the need to invest in continuing to learn about the FBA's reach and possible influence on Black voter apathy.
These Negroes getting uppity and thinking for themselves.
Doesn't it see? This kind of feels a little threatening. You know what I'm saying? Like this is FBI. I think this might have been taken directly out of an FBI, like out of the MK Ultra playbook.
Like, J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah. I mean, we already know that that's what they did the first time, so it wouldn't be weird that that's doing it this time. I mean, I'm sure that's like copy paste for what they did to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam and everybody else, the Black Panthers, whatever. So the difference is you can't take my lineage away. That's the problem. The first foray into this
official leader,
right? Yeah, right. trying to find a lead. The first array into this larger question of the impact of FBA within the larger disinformation landscape on Black communities was diving into, in fact, FBA rhetoric is in line with right-wing conservative talking points, particularly those that are center of disinformation narratives. Between July 2022 and May 2023, we monitored and tracked FBA-affiliated accounts on Twitter and YouTube, collected both content data, trend data, and we attended a reparationist meeting with the FBA-affiliated attendants. Broken Blade. Infiltration, bro.
Infiltration.
Huh. We learn something new every day. I did not know this was on here. I read just the top paragraph. I didn't get down here yet. Once I saw that I got what I needed, I kind of kept it pushing. I don't have all day. We analyzed their talking points against both progressive and conservative ideology to determine if their ideology was in line with one or both or two major political affiliations. Our analysis results in clear amplification of disinformation veiled as cynicism and disillusionment with the current political system that is in line with the right wing and particularly alt-right talking points. Shit, we doing something.
Yeah, they didn't say whether their talking points was in line with logic and facts.
But it doesn't matter. No, they don't. Yeah, of course not. That would be too. Logic and facts are too masculine. Broken Blade.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's broken. That's what you call it. Keywords: misinformation, disinformation, high opportunity voters, reparations, foundational Black American tangibles, voter apathy, intra-community disinformation. What the fuck is that? Excuse my language. Intra-community disinformation. Broken Blood. I think this is a little bit more of a serious situation that we're in than we've been led to believe. What do you think?
I agree. I was going through some files on my computer. I found a script I wrote like last year, like neither completely done or not completely done. And this falls in line with that. I guess that is still relevant. I'll be working on that soon. But yeah, it is covering propaganda and its methods and its effects.
Yeah. I think I'm starting to think. Do you know what? I think AI is going to make it too hard for them to hide the truth. I think that AI is going to be able to sift through this information and find that shit that they've been trying to hide, and they know it. That's why I think the alien stuff is coming out. That's why I think all this weird stuff is happening. I think the people that have had all the knowledge have been hoarding all of the knowledge for these last maybe 1,000 years, like coming out of the dark ages. I think they've been hoarding information. I think that's why they've been burning the libraries. That's why I think they've been trying to all the stuff that tells us about who we were. They're hiding all of it. Let's shout out to Tariq Nasheed, because this brother was like in my brain all of a sudden. I'm telling you, the stars and the lines, the stars and the planets and the moon and everything are aligning. So
Foundation Black Americans, we do have supernatural spiritual energy. We're damn near superheroes.
That's what I'm
Foundation
talking
Black
about.
Americans, we're the only people to survive the most brutal system in human damn history. People talk about, there's slavery all over. It wasn't like the shit we dealt with. No other group had 400 years of chattel slavery, terrorism, sterilization, castration, redlining, and propaganda, and still dusted yourself off and we birthed the global culture. Come on now, that's divine energy. That's that Majara spirit, family. Foundational Black American culture, we shape the planet without colonization. We're the only people to do that, ladies and gentlemen.
Think about that for a second, right? They're listening to King Von in India. You know what I'm saying? Breakdancing in Japan. Nike sweatsuits in Russia. Okay. Nike flip-flops in Africa. Ubuntu is out there, boy. Shout out to Ubuntu. Oh man. I'm sorry, man. I'm not feeling the Africans right now. I'm sorry. I'm not really feeling the Africans. Not really feeling the Africans. I'm
There's
just
a handful
saying.
of exceptions.
Huh?
There's a handful of exceptions, but yeah.
Not really. Yeah, they're coming with some really crazy energy lately. They need to talk into. But let's let this rock.
For other groups, and I've talked about this several times, when other groups from the Middle East, when they spread Islam, many of them had to go in being brutal. They went into Africa. The Arabs went in there brutal. They were castrating people, turning them into eunuchs. They were oppressive.
Mm-hmm.
The British, when they were going in with Christianity and all of that, teaching people English, they were oppressive. The French were going around oppressive. They oppressed the shit out of Haiti and other places. It was oppressive. They were brutal and demonic in order to make people start speaking French and French Creole. In order for them to have an influence, the Spanish were oppressed. They were the worst ones. The Spanish, oh my goodness, they were slaughtering people. In order to get people to speak Spanish, they were doing all types of demonic stuff. But foundational Black Americans, we influenced the world. We got the whole world dressing, talking, acting like us, using the cultural exports that we created, jazz, hip hop, soul food, emulating our sports stars. We didn't have to shoot a damn bullet.
Oh,
yep.
Oh, how real is that? We didn't have to shoot a bullet. We didn't have to shoot a bullet. And here's the thing, man. And we're gonna switch over. We're gonna talk about we're gonna let Uncle D have the mic here in just a second, but it's so funny, like no one ever asks, why is it that when someone wants to say that their hardship is like this other thing, why is it always like slavery? Right? Whenever something happens, they're always like, imagine if it were some Black people that did that. Right?
And usually when they compare it to slavery, is beyond hyperbolic.
It's beyond hyperbolic. Why do you think that is? Because it is the worst thing that anybody has done to a group of people on the planet. Absolutely. It doesn't really get much worse. It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing that any country has done to a group of people. It proves the point. People realize, all right,
even if second would be what the small mustache man did.
And even that was a shorter amount of time and less people.
Exactly.
Right.
They didn't go on for centuries.
Yeah. And not for profit.
And they got
to make the comparison is silly. To make the comparison is silly. In fact, I'm insulted, not you, but I'm moving forward. If someone were to try to make that comparison, I will flash most likely and tell them, like, let me tell you how much you don't know about this thing that you pretend to know. Because if you knew half of what you think you knew, then you would have never made that comparison.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
It is the frustrating thing. Like, Patrice O'Neal brought this up before the past. Like, to this day, being a Yachty in certain countries is punishable by death.
Mm-hmm.
To this day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there's it was foul, but at least there's some justice there.
Yeah. Yeah. Like our slaveholders got paid. So, I mean, we're in the negative. We're in the red. This country owes us quite a bit. Man, shout out to Uncle D, man. Yeah. So before we kind of get into this a little bit, the majority of the countries in Africa, Broken Blade, the borders were pretty much drawn between the 60s and the 70s.
Sounds about right.
like Kenya's like 1960 or Nigeria's like 62, 61. The current the borders that are there now, I believe that's when they may have changed a little bit, but that was when it was called what it was called, and the borders were what they were, right?
Oh, absolutely. I know, like Congo has changed quite a bit. That whole area.
Yep. So you've got these people from these countries whom a white man drew the borders of, and the white man gave them back their country. Decolonized. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
But the borders are just all right. Never mind.
Yeah. So when they say that you don't know where you came from, Broken Blade, and you don't have a history, and you say my country's older than yours, what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, them people been over there for a long time, but you guys got conquered for a little while, and then I don't know, you were in mud huts for a little while. I don't know what you were doing over there, but all I know is, after slavery, we just started getting our hustle on this side. It's not the great. It's not. We're not tippity top yet. Yet we still doing our thing, but we're better than shitting in the street. Shout out to Austin Hollerman. You know what I'm saying? Like, doing the number 2 in the street. We're not doing that. This is the richest group of black people on the planet. So all those things considered, it's really rich for these tethers, these immigrants from Africa, to have such negative things to say about people that have been in this country for a good long while.
And wanted to help.
We tried. We really tried, but we didn't realize that y'all Africans really like the white man. It's cool. I mean, look, I got look. I've got a lot of white friends. Broken Blade. Isn't that what they say? They got a lot. I've got white friends. I've got white friends. I don't, and we work great together. We have understanding and everything is fine, so on and so forth. They would never want to mistreat me, and I would never accept being mistreated. However, these immigrants don't exactly have the same relationship with the folks that are here. We're different,
Yeah.
I was thinking about sending a message to all those, those Afrikaans or those Boers that made their way over here. And I just wanted to maybe let them know that, hey, the blacks in this country don't really operate like the blacks in your country. I have a sneaky suspicion if we were the majority on this side, shit would look a little different, I think. I think it would look a little different.
Winnie Mandela would be the one in be the president.
Yeah. So anyways, Uncle D was breaking some stuff down the other day, and he reposted a clip or two that I believe was very super duper relevant. And I want to go on ahead and let him talk to us real quick. Let's go, Uncle D. Shout out to Uncle D.
Just become a member. Check this out for the teachers. It's a great teaching tool. Okay. I think you all would really enjoy that. Again, I'm going to put it at the YouTube link there. Just become a member. Check it out. Listen to it. You'll learn a lot. And it shout out to spaces like Tariq Nasheed. Yeah, brother Tariq Nasheed was trying to be nice to y'all. He's nice compared to me. I'll be more than happy to have you sent home. We can change the legislation. Remember, I am not nice. I am the bad guy. Tariq is nice. Brother Tariq Nasheed is a nice, kind man. Mm-hmm. He is a scholar. Mm-hmm. He is a person who cares about you. I want you to be absolutely certain. Look here. If it come between you and my tax, me paying high taxes, you got to go home. You understand?
Hold on. Because I'm sure Uncle D would really want y'all to see him when he said this. Hold on.
Look here. He is a person who cares about you. I want you to be absolutely certain. Look here. If it come between you and my tax, me paying high taxes, you got to go home. You understand me? That's why I voted for Trump. I'll tell you again. Yeah. I'll do it again right now. All between all your tears. I'm just saying. And there's a lot of other black folk out there just like me. Keep that in mind. Okay? Trying to be nice to y'all. He's nice compared to me. I'll be more than happy to have you sent home. Get out, man. I appreciate that, man. That $5 is mean a lot, man. Thank you so much, brother. Glad you're learning something. That's what we're doing. If you learn something, contribute. You know, nations in Europe and Asia also, none of these nations of 83 are thankful. Right. Thank you so much. Quantum, the folks, 1,000 likes. People have over 1,700 here. Yeah, man. Y'all.
Here we go. Get to the other one. So what do you think, Broken Blade? Like, do you even deal with very many immigrants at this point anymore? I kind of feel like I feel like I've been seeing and dealing with less of them lately, but that's just me.
Not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you find yourself treating them any different now? Are you just as suspicious?
Not really. I've had a level of suspicion towards some for a while.
Yeah.
Certain jobs I worked at, like non-white immigrants, most of them Hispanic, like giving us the same like funky energy.
Yeah.
Find ourselves like 9 times here, like the worst jobs, like jobs nobody wants to do. We're all clean the area, whatever. Man, this sucks. Had the realization, like everybody in the group was black except for one older white man. All the Hispanics were off other side of the area just shooting the breeze. Like, wow. All right. I'll see you.
That's where the real meat and potatoes is, bro. That's where the real. That's how we get boxed out. That's how we get mistreated. That's how we get outnumbered. You know, I would love for us to be a little bit smarter. I think, again, culturally, I think it's always just been, we were in survival mode. And I think when being in survival mode, it's easy for people to clam up, fold. And when they fold, they bitch up on everybody else. They're the ones that get everybody caught, right? Like, think about like the assassination of let's just think about we can say, I don't want to say Malcolm X, because when they assassinated him, I think he messed himself up. I think he put himself in a bind where he was getting it from both sides. Malcolm X. Right? Because like he kind of stepped away from the Nation of Islam because he kind of got out over his skis a little bit, and he was talking when he should have been sitting down. And so when they took the protection off, the FBI was like, yo, the protection's off. Let's go get him. And he got. Right. And they found some, brother that they put the screws to get the job done, to do it, to facilitate it, the cops. And then, like I said, the trigger man was a black dude, right? Wasn't the guy that killed him? Yeah. So there's always one of those. They always find one. That's the part we got to get rid of. But here, okay. So this is just a little bit of a message to the tethers is all. Shout out to Uncle D. I just wanted to go on ahead and play this clip.
List on the way back home.
And
for years, Jamaicans at the top of the list, Caribbeans, you distance yourself from FBAs. Your mama and your grandma told you to leave them black Americans alone, didn't they? Don't lie. Especially the black. Leave them black women alone. Leave those black guys alone. You boasted about your superior culture. Your mama and your grandma told you to leave them black Americans alone, didn't they? Don't lie. Especially the black. Leave them black women alone. Leave those black guys alone. You boasted about your superior culture. You enjoyed the benefits of living in the U.S., but now you're learning the hard way. You were never truly accepted. You were just here. You were the acceptable Negroes. Haitians are facing major immigration crackdowns. There was a Haitian dude about, 6-7 years ago. He had some reckless things to say about foundational black America. Look him up on the internet. Now you're facing major immigration crackdowns.
Yup. Send them home.
On February 4th, which is about 6 days ago, they sent 21 Haitian nationals home.
Send them home.
12 of them had criminal records, and 9 were undocumented immigrants. And that's the first deportation flight to Haiti under President Trump's second term. Now, Biden extended this TPS to the Haitians, right? You remember that? But the first week of Trump's presidency, his second term, right? They said, we getting them out of here. They got to go. They're looking at sending home over 300,000 Haitians to Haiti. Little butt end of the island called Hispaniola. You about to send 300,000 home.
Bye.
Again, for decades, Haitians, Jamaicans, African immigrants, you believe that you could operate separately from the foundation of Black America. You could distance yourself from our struggle and carve out your own lane in America. And many of you all look down on Black Americans claiming that we were lazy, unmotivated, unwilling to take advantage of opportunities. But now, as these deportations escalate, these same folk are begging for help, calling for solidarity, and suddenly identifying as one people with FBAs. But where's this? Where was this unity before?
We're not having it.
Where was this unity before? When we were trying to get reparations. Many of y'all spoke against it. Many of y'all said, well, we want reparations too. When we talked about police brutality, you said just comply. When we talked about mass incarceration and voter suppression and red line, you told us to work harder. That's what you did. Keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy as birthright citizenship is being challenged.
Woo!
Naturalized citizens. Keep that same energy.
Woohoo! Work harder.
See, here's the deal. Shout out to FBA SIP. Thank you so much. See, after years of allowing you all to come here and benefit from your resources and your labor and your time, the United States government under Donald Trump has decided to send you home. And, you know, that's unfair.
Unfair.
But because, you know, you built a life here. You have family and responsibilities, you know, and you have children who are American citizens. And yet the only way to keep your family together is for you and them to be deported together. But where is home now? Is it the country you haven't set foot on for decades? A place where your children who have only known America will be seen as foreigners? They probably don't speak the language. They don't know the culture. And whether it's an Afro-Caribbean nation or an African country, you're going to be treated like outsiders. You might get robbed. Something else worse might happen. Hate that for you. But you see what happened to the Jamaican lady. And so here you are, you stand caught in the middle, forced to watch everything you built be stripped away. They are about to send you home. That house you bought, that car, your clothes, things you worked hard. You worked hard for.
Work hard.
All of that is about to be gone in an instant.
I need that Cat Williams. You should have been talking shit.
Your family. Shout out to In the World Today. Everything. Your family broken apart.
Yep.
The forced disconnection from a life that was promised but never guaranteed. This is not just a moment. This is a pattern. And we, when I say we, I mean Black Americans have seen it before.
That's right.
And when you turn for help, where's the support? Even your foundational Black American brothers and sisters, you distance yourself from us.
Yep.
Right? We're distant relatives, but you distance yourself from us. We're the descendants of ancestors. We have the same ancestors. Largely, we're going to turn a blind eye to you. Number one, we have our own battles and our own struggles. We're resting. Somebody type FBA resting in the chat room. We've struggled to survive in the system.
FBA resting.
A system that never fully embraced us, by the way. Number one, we have our own battles and our own struggles. We're resting. Somebody type FBA resting in the chat room. Need your feet once. The same laws that once protected you now being rewritten to push you out. See, this is not new to us. This is history repeating itself. James Baldwin once said,
this is important.
I can't believe what you say because I see what you do. And what America.
How real is that, Broken Blade? I can't believe what you say because I can see what you do. That's profound. Right. Like it's like, yo, man, like that, which is why this whole South Africa thing is so crazy to me. I'm like, how can you fix your mouth to say white genocide when you leveled Gaza? Like leveled. Like they don't have any power. They don't have any food. Like, you're absolutely starving these people out. And you got the nerve to say some shit about white genocide for some white folks that are in a country on a continent that they shouldn't have been in the first place? Like, if anybody deserved to get narked, bro, it would have been them.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
More and more hot sauce might have been onto something. The one
Yeah.
last time he was on talking about like some was it like a Muslim or prophecy, or like some black like Nation of Islam prophecy, like a certain day, like a curse would be lifted off of black.
At this point, bro, I'm re-examining everything, Broken Blade.
Maybe the third eye about to get open, bro.
I mean, it might even, dog, it could be something just as simple as deciding that you're going to be like, you're going to just turn that.
Yeah.
We might be psychic all of a sudden. We might be moving stuff across tables with our minds. I don't know. Maybe we might be levitating. Right? I don't know. Broken Blade, you're like one evening away from, you're one sun or one revolution around the moon away from waking up and being a genius. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm telling you, if you knew what was going on in my brain right now, I really think I have a sneaky suspicion that this world operates differently than what we've been led to believe. And not only do I think that we're superhuman, meaning like there's another level of awareness and operation, but I think our ability to manipulate material is also in that bucket. I think it's a lot easier than we think. Meaning, again, using water as the easiest, because it's easy for everybody to get, right? Taking water through all of its different states: solid state, ice; liquid state, the way it normally is, room temperature; and then gas when it's evaporated, right? Like, I think that what it's looking like is that no matter what the amount of pressure, or dependent on the amount of pressure, you can maybe turn anything into anything. Like, I think if you can, like, I think that this whole like turning lead to gold, right? Do you know how that's always been a thing?
Yeah.
Right. Isn't it? Okay. So based on those principles, if you have the proper knowledge and you know where along the periodic table something is, you could be able to move something from one element to the other, whether it be a gas, solid, or a liquid, given the proper amount of pressure. And I think that since we never looked at science or materials that way, we don't think about manipulating them. And I have a sneaky suspicion that if we were to like come up thinking about manipulating materials as children, I think we would be like little miniature nuclear physicists. Like,
maybe that is an interesting concept.
Because it's like, as a kid, because you think about it, you're like, you know, like I said, like ice, water, vapor.
Right.
Now imagine that same principle is for like, give me another for carbon, right?
Yeah.
So carbon, as we know it, carbon is a solid. What does it look like for carbon as a liquid? Can it be a liquid? What does that look like? Can you get there? What's carbon as a gas? Can you make it a gas? Do you have to like ionize it? How do you make it? Is that possible? Right? Given the proper amount of pressure, is that what would happen? I don't know. If you can take carbon from solid to gas and then back to solid again, can you change how it looks or how it operates? I don't know.
Interesting.
What's it
Only
say?
under extreme pressure and temperatures of approximately 4,500 degrees Celsius, this carbon will become liquid. But it is possible.
But it's possible. That's what I'm saying, right? Okay, so if I have a device that can contain 4,500 degrees, and if I can conjure up enough energy to get something to 4,500 degrees, I can manipulate carbon. Well, not just carbon, but anything on the periodic table.
Right.
So, like, if we were to get raised up as children, instead of looking at the periodic table as these just boxes and these numbers that I don't exactly understand what they mean with these 4 or 5 decibels, instead of looking at it like that, I'm looking at it as something that can be manipulated and moved to another part of the. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wouldn't look at it as just like something I couldn't mess with anymore. I would try to figure out how to manipulate it, and it would be normal. If that makes any sense.
That would make free thinkers, though. We can't have that.
That's my point.
Say now, that's dangerous thinking, Paul. You better stick to your work.
That's my point. They made like, because I started digging into it a little bit, like science, like the science with the N for the things that go boom.
Yeah.
They suppress all that stuff, bro. Like it's like under lock and key. You can't even, like, they don't even let nuclear physicists like play on the internet. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you can't even, like, that's not even that stuff's under lock and key. This whole thorium.
I understand that, though.
Well,
they're accusing FBA. Like, you find out some one of these guys has like a Reddit account, just become cool with them for a few years, and buddy. No, you do something. Come, buddy.
Buddy, come on, buddy. You can do. I know you can do. You can do. You can do. You take the hydrogen and then and the nitrogen, and you put them together and you mix them up. Hydrochloric acid.
Video you sent.
What's on?
Oh, the Indian rocket video.
I mean, is it not weird that they've already been, you know what I mean? Like, Is that not weird? Bro, is it weird that their myths are blue and like they have a blue person as a myth, like one of their people? They got like a monkey person.
Yeah.
Like their great battle, like that great war that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Is very similar to the Greeks and the Arcadians, or like the, what is it they tried to, is like the Olympians and the, what's the other one?
And,
Titans. Right? Like that kind of a thing. Like that stuff doesn't sound that crazy anymore, Broken Blade. It just doesn't. I know I know that you're, I'm dragging you along this, kicking and screaming on this journey, and Christianity is having a hard time right now. I know I'm pushing a lot of, I'm nudging it around a little bit. I believe in it. I'm just saying that, just not
not necessarily. A lot of what you say is not
biblical. Yeah. It's just when you whittle everything down to one God is where I believe everything is kind of messed up. And I hate to say it that way. Like where you get to where people have decided what to leave in and what to leave out. I'm just saying. I'm like, you can't tell me about some of the Watchers but not all the rest of it. You can't tell me about some of the Nephilim, but not all the rest of them. Well, so only the Nephilim came in this, the Nephilim were only here under these circumstances, but not under these circumstances. You see what I'm saying? Like in the Bible that we all read, that we all know, so on and so forth, the Nephilim came down and whatever, right? And so we know that at some point, some angel and some woman had procreated. Can we agree on that? Is that?
Yeah.
because that's the only way the Nephilim could be on the earth, right? Okay, so if I were to just limit the times that it were only mentioned in the Bible, then you would think that it might be like this kind of like one-off situation where there might be one or two or three of them. I think they do reference a bunch of them, but running around, right?
They say in the Bible, most people agree it was like a third of the angels went sideways, did their own thing.
Went rogue, yeah. They're like, well, the 200 that came down from whatever allegedly was 200, and then now if you said that all of the Nephilim all across the planet came from those 200 angels, I would be like, okay, that's an interesting concept. But again, the book of Enoch didn't talk about any of that whole situation. Like they didn't specify that part. So if you take that part out of the Bible, right, and then so you don't get that story. You're like, okay, so these giants giants came down, and at some point there were some angels that walked amongst us, and they may or may not have taken some women for wives, and may or may not have had some children, that were these giants, may or may not. But then there's this whole like other book that's pretty damn specific about what happened. You know what I mean? So so I'm supposed to take on this religion or this book and take this as being what it is. But then this other part of the book that talks about parts in there that might give me more clarification, someone decided to leave it out because it made it too hard to shape the narrative. That's just how I see it. So like, you know what I mean? And then the whole monotheism, it's like, okay, well, when did it come down to one God? Oh, these group of people just decided that they wanted to whittle it down to one God. And okay, I get it. I guess. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, well, who decided that? You did, or the God did, or whatever? Well, like, what's with all the other, how is it that everything before here, everyone was referencing multiple entities, not just one? But, I don't know. I'm not kicking. I'm still figuring it out myself. I'm still, I'm just trying to figure it all out. I don't think it's all wrong. I just think that I want to figure out what they took out.
Right.
Everything that they took out. I want to know all the stuff that they took out is all. Oh, Broken Blade. So libel. That's what I wanted to do. Here we go. Sorry, real fast. Let me look this up real quick. Libel and slander. Let's see. So slander. I just wanted to just touch this real quick because I have a feeling that it's going to get bad for a couple of YouTube channels here soon.
Oh, yes, sir.
And it sucks because, nobody wants to lose their channel. Nobody wants to lose their channel, get in trouble. So slander is a false spoken statement that harms a person's reputation. That's key, Broken Blade. A false spoken statement that harms a person's reputation. It's a type of oral defamation, which is a civil wrong that can be the basis for a lawsuit. Oh shit. Unlike libel, which is written defamation, damages from slander must be proven, not presumed, according to the the Law Information Institute. LII. Okay. Law Information Institute. Interesting. Slander refers specifically to false statements made orally. Okay. All right. So, if you're a YouTube channel and you're out here talking reckless, make sure your citizenship papers are in order. Make sure you got your green card in order. Make sure your visa is in order. And then make sure you go on ahead and get your pockets right, because you're going to need an attorney for civil for libel, so you'll need an attorney. And then you might need an immigration attorney to make sure that, they can try to keep you in the States. Because if you get tied up in the courts, ICE might just snatch you from the courthouse. They've been doing that lately. You know what I'm saying? So I would hate for any of these, guys with YouTube channels to mess around and get deported and sued at the same time. That would be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And in the event that you're already in another country, Mr. Spurling has reach and he'll find you and he'll take your little YouTube money. So, cause it's looking like Uncle D, aka the channel snatcher, aka Blizzard King, aka Uncle D, aka get your shit kicked off of YouTube, aka used to be Mike TV. There's a chance that you might mess around and get your channel snatched. So, and that's kind of how we're going to moving forward. And that's a foundational Black American thing. I think the time of us letting people just talk crazy to us is over. We're done with that. Absolutely. We're done with that. I think with this Nottoway plantation burning down, there was a certain level of national pride behind that. I think some of it was a little bit displaced. You know what I mean? Like, this should have been a perfect opportunity for everyone to, and maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow, to really explore what plantations, how they really operated. Like, what was the big deal? Because these white folks have no problem like having their weddings at these plantations and having proms at these plantations and what's the when the girl has a little little tea party? What is the little like a something Tilla? Yeah, there's like a debutante ball and stuff like that. Yeah. They have those there.
Oh, the Cotilla or something like that.
Clotilla, I don't know exactly. I have to look it up. I don't want to be incorrect. Southern Belle, yeah, but a Clotilla. Man, you're gonna make me look it up now, aren't you? Here, let me do this because I feel stupid. You're gonna make me look it up because now I don't. I think it's called a. Nah, that's not it. I'll have to find it. It's something else. Anyway, what do you think, Broken Blade? Are you a little bit annoyed at this whole South African thing? Like, what do you? Are you even noticing all this extra South African news and stuff?
Something kind of popped up in my feed. I haven't really looked into it too much.
Damn, by the way, I knew Clotilda was something I knew. Clotilda was the last known ship to bring enslaved Africans to the United States.
Cotillion.
I knew that. What? Cotillion? Cotillion. Yeah, that's it. Cotillion. I knew it was in the. Thank you, Broken Blade, if you found that first. Appreciate that. So what bothers you? Does it need? Because I'm trying.
I would say this from my. If you've been following this more than I have, I'll assume that. Again, the energy is different.
What's that?
About the situation in South Africa. I saw something about a certain chance about something to Boers.
Oh yeah.
I'm assuming the media tried to spin it to make them out to be the victims. Apartheid be damned.
Oh, for sure. For sure. For sure. I'm really I'm really kind of having a rough time with it. Because the hypocrisy is so blatant, I'm almost confused by it. Like it's almost like I kind of feel like they're trolling.
Right.
Right? Like you got to be trolling. Right? Like you had a bunch of white folks in South Africa that are claiming whatever, but like I don't see any like bombed out, burned down. Like I don't see any carnage. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't see like
Israel has the right to defend themselves.
Yeah, but then on the other side, I'm like, so we're not allowed to say that word. Can't even say the word when you're talking about those people over there during that thing. But these people right here, like they can't say it enough. Especially when it's got the YT in front of it. What is that all about? Right? Like I can't even do anything beyond sitting here looking confused for real. Like I'm kind of like, what are you really what are you really trying to do? Now I have a theory, Broken Blade.
The war?
Huh?
We're losing the war.
I think that there's multiple different reasons. One, by them leaving a place and going to another place, the idea that you can move a population to another place, I think sets one precedent. So if you were to say, be planning to move Gazans out of Gaza, then you could say, well, look, we did it over here and it did just fine. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that part. And then in addition to that, South Africa being, the one of the countries that beat out apartheid and like successfully like switched over a government, even though the white folks still, I think, own most of the wealth. They still kind of successfully flipped the government. So at least the black people are kind of in power. At least they pretend to be. I mean, this is a black president right here. But they were the people that filed the case in the ICC or the ICJ, the International Criminal Court, ICC, against Israel. And there's a warrant out for Netanyahu currently. Like there are some countries that have threatened to arrest him if they come there because he has an international warrant out. We won't do it here in the United States, but they will. And this very same court has done nothing but prosecute African countries and black people. So Israel thinks that they don't have to listen to them because they generally only prosecute black people. So I kind of think that this is the way that we're fighting against the country to get them off the ICC, get them off this case and to drop the case to kind of make it hot for them because so by saying that they're behaving badly and damaging the reputation of South Africa, then their case for a genocide in Gaza is bullshit. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So they're trying to kick smut on South Africa's name so that their case doesn't look legit. That's what I think is really going on.
Nasty work.
Isn't it though? Because I'm like, when is the last time a South African president was in the Oval Office? Get the French toast out of here, bro. Like, come on. Like, oh, white genocide? Really? 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 White genocide? For real? Really? 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 Am I supposed to sit here and believe that shit? For real? Really? Okay. All right. So that's what I think is really going on. But here's what I will say. Here's what I will say. If this message makes it to any of those what they call Boers,
Yeah.
Boers,
I just call them Boers.
uh the blacks over here don't act like the blacks over there. So whatever behavior, passive aggressive stuff that you used to do to them folks over there, don't bring that shit over here. We don't operate the same way. Okay? We just don't. We don't tolerate disrespect the same way. These Africans like y'all. We can do with or without you. Just so you know. And look, man, I'll be real, man. I didn't really realize it, but like we really will crash out. Us black folks in this country, we crash out all the time. I've been looking at videos. We have been getting some get back lately. I don't know whether the cameras have been rolling or what, but like there's been a lot of people getting some straightening lately. A lot of people getting some straightening on some one-on-ones, a couple of Karens, you know, thinking that they can reach out and touch somebody and they get touched themselves. I mean, shit, I had an experience not that long ago. So I just hope that they don't bring that madness over here. I just hope that they stay nice and peaceful and understand that they are guests in this country. And, you know, the black folk around here, we operate a little bit different than what you're probably used to. I just want to make sure y'all know that, because I wouldn't want y'all to cross a man that is perfectly fine, you know, putting you in the hospital or something. You know, we don't really play. So shout out to Braxton. Shout out to Solo Dolo. What's up, bro? How are you doing? Anyway, Broken Blade, before we get up out of here, you got anything you want to add, bro, before we you know, before we get anything that you want to get off your chest?
Not much. We're all over the place with this one. Do find it funny in regards to the Boers. Yeah, they're gonna have some adjustment to do. I've heard white supremacists from America got fed up with some of them. Story a few years ago on Philip Scott's channel. They thought they was helping this Boer family out, like saving them from enemy territory. Let them crash in his house for a year and find out they're some of the most laziest and entitled people from his mouth.
Yeah. I did hear about that.
Like maybe white folks will be the only. Seems like FBA will be the only people tightening their circles.
I mean, I imagine they will.
Yeah.
It's seeming like it's getting like that. Do you have a go bag?
Well, I have a small bag of emergency supplies. I got some stuff built up.
Okay.
Need to get a bit more, but
okay. Spidey senses up.
Yeah.
I got fun. Some when you start looking at what people's intent is, sometimes, bro, you just start seeing stuff, you know, these signs, these things, like the sun is doing some weird stuff. A whole bunch of volcanoes are popping right now. The earth is moving in really funny ways and places, like right now. It seems like every 2,500 to 5,000 years, there's a smack, something crazy happens. This entire time, we've been told that we think that everything just kind of moves gradually and things happen one at a time. I'm having a sneaky suspicion that something might happen and cause like a chain reaction, and a whole bunch of stuff happens at once and puts out one of those kind of catastrophes that we just haven't seen yet. Like, and goes full bottleneck, like people pass away and DNA doesn't get passed. that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like civilization killers. Like crops don't grow, have to go underground, top of a mountain somewhere. Biblical. I'm getting that feeling, Broken Blade. Now I don't know whether, like I said, I don't know whether that's something that's going to happen within the next, couple of years, or shit could happen tomorrow for all I know. But when I start like looking at how we're spending money and how everything is moving, and then the amount of energy being used to hide things
and leave the planet,
or like build underground bunkers, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you just wouldn't do it unless you needed to. That's just not a thing. And then when you find all these civilizations where you're like, well, we found they used to live here. Shit's nobody's here anymore. Like
think about like Zuckerberg's bunker of like, you built it in Hawaii? Really?
It is weird to go. It is seems
like that.
I mean, if you think you got enough food to and food to last you,
there's a lot of volcanoes there. They're like fault line, like this like high.
It's on a volcano. It's on a hot spot. It is a hot spot. Broken Blade, if you were to take Hawaii, the Big Island, Kona, and if you were to take it from the ocean floor where the volcano actually starts, all the way up to where Kilauea, the top of Kilauea, where it actually is, it's the largest volcano on the planet.
Oh boy.
I don't know if you knew that or not.
Nah.
It's on a hot spot, meaning like there's a hot spot that goes up and the whole Pacific plate is moving, and like basically the islands are bubbles.
Makes sense.
So if you actually look, the oldest Hawaiian islands are the ones furthest away. And then if you keep looking under the water, there's like 10 previous islands there in a row.
Wow.
It makes a hard zigzag, a hard bink, bink. Like the whole plate must have done, it was like going one way and then just like shifted and went another way.
Gotcha.
Out of nowhere. So everything on that side is older, and basically the ocean floor kind of does this at Hawaii. So anyways, from the base up. See, Cody knows. Anyway, I found a couple of things on my Twitter that I wanted to share. You good?
Yeah.
First of all, I saw this message right here and it touched my soul. If you're a black elected official fighting ICE agents over non-citizen trespassers and ain't never had that energy for black folks, I don't give a shit what Trump does to Trump's DOJ does to you.
Facts.
I support this message. I double down on this message. I think I'm going to take this message, I'm going to copy paste it, and I'm going to send it to every Congressional Black Caucus person every single day. I'm dead serious. I think I'm going to make it part of my morning ritual. If you're a black elected official fighting ICE agents over non-citizen trespassers and ain't never had that same energy for black folks, I don't give a shit what Trump does to you. I hope he tars and feathers your ass. That's it. Let's hear what this brother got to say real fast.
Owed. It is a blood debt that is owed to our people. And that's for the naysayers and the people who argue against reparations. We know that reparations is a debt that is owed. It is a blood debt that is owed to our people. And that's the reason why we are not going to let it go. That's the reason we are not going to stop fighting and pushing for this. It's mandatory. There actually is no other solution for our condition in this country. There is no alternative solution to our condition. It's reparations are bust. But for us, these things are non-negotiable. When it comes to reparations, these things are non-negotiable. Number one, it has to be lineage based. Okay? We're looking for specificity. It has to be lineage based, foundational Black American descendants of freedmen only. It has to be cash payments. If you're not talking about cash payments, you're not talking about reparations. We can't have all of these multicultural umbrella terms. We cannot have that. And so we got to hold these politicians accountable. As we know, election season, midterm season is coming up. So we got to keep our foot on their neck when it comes to these things. For the naysayers.
Brother was preaching.
Yes, sir.
Brother was preaching. So yeah, man, I wanted to warm us up. What do I want to say? Oh yeah, here we go.
This is
where the family came from, and my dad, and like my brother said, my mother, she never had a job. My dad, he worked, and we never really wanted for nothing. I mean, we had pretty much whatever we needed.
Yeah, for shuffle.
It rains, night. Great job. So this. It's easy.
That's what's up.
We're not too old, my friend. We can make something happen. We're not too old. If this was the vision when I was a kid, when I came out of school, I think I would have loved to do. I would have moved a little bit different. I don't know if I would have appreciated it like I appreciate it now. I came from, this is like what my dad's family was like and how they grew up. So this isn't that foreign to me.
Right.
But if I would have really, really understood the enjoyment, I think that I would have gotten out of it. I think I would have made it more of a priority to try to operate like this, like that. And it's not too late. It's not too late. If anything, to set it up so that, people that come behind you can take the baton and run with it. It's not too late. But I think there needs to be a shift to this. I think.
Absolutely.
I think there needs to be a shift to that. And obviously that's something we're going to talk about offline. We're going to talk about offline because we're not going to share too much information. And I'm already working on something, bro. Getting us out of here. I'm not playing. Really not playing. I'm not playing. This makes me happy. This right here. This seeing that right there. Shout out to Detroit 313. $5 super sticker. What's up, bro? That big old truck. Do you drive trucks, bro? Tell me, I want some information on the trucking situation right now, bro. What's going down?
Yeah, I've heard some things.
I don't know what's real, what's not. I know that there's a lot. I mean, people aren't bringing as much stuff. I know the ports are starting to slow down already. So if the ports slow down, I imagine the trucks would slow down. But yeah, you drive trucks. Business cool? You good? You work for yourself? Do you have a truck of your own? Are you gonna have to do something? Are you gonna have to switch something up, or are you good? Because like I said, it's getting kind of thin for some people. But man, thank you so much, bro. Thank you for coming and hanging out, and I truly, truly appreciate you. Usually, what happens is when we get donations, when we get super stickers or what you call it, then we always do a salute. So for Detroit 313, this is for you, bro. We truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. I'm always asking about just like the brothers that are working, and I just asked them like what they see in their day to day. The immigration stuff and blah blah blah. It's like, okay, that all sounds good in the news. That sounds good, but what's it really like on the ground? I remember one of the most insightful conversations we ever had was when Wrench Turner, shout out to Wrench Turner, was just talking about how his particular factory or his job interacted with the labor unions, the unions.
Yeah.
And how I've always kind of been on the side of unions before, but he gave me a really good example of how unions were being detrimental. And I was like, oh, you know what? I never thought of it that way. That was so it's always good to get someone that's really in the trenches that can give us information, when we don't have it. So salute to you, bro. Thank you so much. Anyway. All right. Well, we're going to keep coming back. Fortunately and unfortunately, it seems as though Uncle D's going to have to teach a lesson. And so we will probably get a inside look on how to handle these kind of situations. When someone is defaming you on the internet, Uncle D is becoming really good at at snatching channels. so we may get a front seat for another one. We'll find out soon enough. Anyways, salute to everybody that came through. Thank you guys so much. Trying to get these YouTube legs back, boy. Man, me sleeping hella hard after doing these shows. But thank all of you guys for coming through, hanging out. Cody Marshall, of course, Detroit 313, Solo Dolo, man, salute. Braxton, salute, man. Thank you so much for coming through. Barry Little, what's slowing down? Salute to you. Thank you so much for coming through if you're still up in here. And anybody else that may have, that might catch us on a replay, thank you so much. I'll holler at you guys on the next one. And like we like to say, we out. Peace.
All I do is win, no matter